Hello, beautiful yogis. I hope you're doing well. So I've created another little yoga snack for you, and today's class is a restorative yoga class. So if you have a bolster and a zafu, that's fabulous. A lot of you might not have those things at home, so if you can gather up a bunch of pillows, a bunch of blankets, maybe from the couch or your bed, the more the merrier. And what I'll do is I'll set up each of the poses using the standard props, and then I'll give you examples of things that you can use from home to set up your relaxation stations. For example, instead of a block, you might be able to use canned goods, prop up. Don't forget to support your local food bank. Maybe a book, some big books, or even some bowls can be helpful for your postures. So we'll just begin with a little warm-up, and then we'll move into some restorative postures. Just make yourself comfortable. Getting nice and tall, and we'll roll the shoulders here. Next, inhale, lifting your shoulders to your ears. Exhale, drop. Inhale, lift and drop. Interlacing your fingers behind your head as you inhale, lift your face, draw your elbows back. Exhale, tucking the chin, rounding the back, tuck the elbows. Inhale, lift here, draw the elbows back. Exhale, tucking the chin, rounding the back. Inhaling here. Exhale, rounding back. Again. Good. As you lift here, we'll slide our hands to our elbows or to our shoulders, and then just drawing circles with the elbows. Opposite direction. Reaching behind your back, interlace the fingers, lifting up. Or you can push the floor away with the hands, or maybe your palm. Breathing in, breathing out, in and out. Good. And then releasing. So from here we're going to come into Shavasana. Rest back onto your back. You might choose to tuck a blanket, lightly folded, not too high. We don't want to hyperextend the neck. You can tuck that under your head. Maybe a bolster under the knees or a little higher up under the thighs. Resting back here. You can add an eye pillow if you have one. If not, maybe a sock or a towel. Resting back here. You might choose to bring your left hand on your heart, right hand on your belly. Maybe resting your arms at your sides, relax the shoulders. coming to bring your awareness to your breath. So staying here, breathing in and out. If you don't have a bolster today, maybe you're taking a couple of pillows. Tucking the pillows under the knees. Staying with your breath, breathing in, breathing out. Another option for you today. If you don't have a bolster, you can take your yoga mat or just a couple of blankets and then rolling up your mat inside a blanket. You can tie it with a ribbon. You can do 2 blankets if you'd like. Set that up for this pose or any of the other poses. Stay here a little while, breathing in, breathing out. As you're inhaling, you might envision the breath running down the front of your spine, wrapping around the tailbone. Exhale the breath moving up the back of the spine. Inhale the breath moving down the front of the spine. Exhale breath moving up the back of the spine. Inhale, envisioning the breath moving down the front, wrap around the tailbone. Exhale up, back. So you're just creating a circle of breath moving along the spine as though the spine was a freeway for your breath to travel along. So it's breathing in, breathing out, breathing in and out. As we move through the practice today, feel free to pause the video and hold your pose a little longer. Maybe you want to hold an extra 5 or 10 minutes. Maybe you're just choosing one of the poses today. That's fine as well. Breathing in and out. Here you can begin to bring a little subtle movement to your body, wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Slightly rolling your head side to side. Reaching your arms back. As you do, pressing into the backs of the legs, your bottom lifts up off the floor and pausing here, lengthening from the fingertips to the toe tips. Good. And then releasing for butterfly, stepping your feet to flat, feet onto the bolster. Bringing the soles of your feet together, the knees fall out to the sides. Pausing here, or maybe a little more support for the legs, you can tuck the bolster under the open knees. Resting here again, finding your breath. Options to use your stacked pillows or your rolled up yoga mat, which can also be used for the posture. You can add your eye pillow or a sock. And also take a moment to put a blanket over your body. Breathing in and out. You can also choose different arm variations. Maybe your arms are at your sides, or again, you can rest left hand on the heart, right hand on the belly. Maybe you're catching your opposite elbows behind your head or your forearms. Breathing in. Breathing out. In and out. You're working with that breathing technique as you inhale, the breath is traveling down the front of the spine, wrapping around the tailbone, exhaling up the back of the spine. Inhaling down the front of the spine and exhaling up the back of the spine, creating a circle of breath. Hands under our thighs and just gathering one knee up and then the other, taking the feet a little bit wider and slowly dropping the knees side to side here. And you can stay with that, or you might choose to gather the knees to chest, hugging your knees and rocking here. Using our feet, we'll roll the bolster in towards our bottom, pressing into your feet, lifting your bottom up. Just make sure you're on there safely, or maybe you're using your pillows. And then we'll reach our hands and feet up to the sky here, rotating the wrists and the ankles. Feel free to bend the knees any amount if that feels better for your back or your hamstrings. Just opposite direction. Point and flex, point and flex. Maybe rotate. Do a little shake if you'd like. Option to straddle the legs, bringing your hands to the inner thighs. You might just massage or warm up the muscles here. An option to bend the knees. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in and out. We'll gather our legs back up together. A few more breaths here. Just bending the knees, lowering your feet one at a time. Lifting your bottom up, sliding the bolster forward. And either with flat feet, dropping your knees, side to side. Maybe hugging the knees and rocking here. side to side or circles, no rush. And then from here you can roll to one side and pressing into your hands just to lift yourself up. Finding a comfortable seat. Inhale, reaching your hands up through center. Exhale, circling out and down. Inhale, reaching your arms up. Exhale, bowing your head to your hands. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, bowing the head. Inhale. Pausing here. And just throw away anything that you don't want today. Just get rid of it. Easy to do. Throw it at me if you'd like. Just get rid of it. You can shake out the legs. Alrighty. So next pose, we're going to do a twist on the bolster. So come onto your bolster, just sitting, not at the middle, but come right to the end. Sitting up high helps to bring our hips above the knees for most of us. So sitting tall here, you can bring your hand at your thigh, the opposite hand reaching behind, looking out over your shoulder any amount. If there's neck tension, just bringing the face forward a little. If you're feeling wobbly in your pose, you could also take 2 flat feet, hug the shins, reach behind. And just staying with that, looking out over your shoulder. Again, you could also use a couple of pillows. And if the pillows are a little mushy, like this one, maybe you're going to take 3 pillows. Just so you can get your hips up nice and high. Oh yeah, that's better. And then twist it. If you're having trouble reaching the floor, just grab another prop. Maybe a little love will help. Maybe your can of soup. Staying there, staying with your pose. Breathing in as you breathe in, get taller. As you exhale, maybe you can just add a little extra oomph to your twist. Breathing in and out. In and out. The body and the twist, bringing your face forward to look over opposite shoulder. And then we'll set up the opposite side. Maybe you're switching the crossing under legs. Inhale to get tall, and then exhale to twist. Holding here. Again, maybe the option is taking flat feet. Maybe hugging under the shin. face forward, looking over the opposite shoulder here. As you release, rolling your shoulders. Good. And our next pose will be the supported fish pose. So, set that one up with the bolster here. You might choose, if you like your head to be a little higher in the pose, tucking a prop under the end, maybe a blanket under the head. As you rest back, you can just press down on the bolster, a little resting back here, making yourself comfortable. You can rest the knees on each other or butterfly legs, maybe flat legs. Holding here, maybe you're tucking an extra prop under your bottom. If there's a little twinge or tension in the low back, that just brings the floor up a little higher. So enjoying this pose, maybe adding a blanket, an eye pillow. Good, so staying here, or if you're like to have an example here of setting up without those props. You can take your rolled up mat here. Tuck a little love under the end. Pillow for your head. Back. You can also choose again if you needed a little lift. Tuck that under your bottom. Just resting here. Rest here for a little while, bringing your awareness to your breath. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in and out. Breathing in. Breathing out. It'll help to set you up with another breathing technique. You can breathe naturally if you'd like. Otherwise, you could choose to breathing with the mouth closed. Some inhale, pause, inhale, pause, exhale, inhale, pause, inhale, pause, exhale, inhale, pause, inhale, pause, exhale. Staying with that breath if it's comfortable for you. It's a really nice breathing technique to use if you're having trouble sleeping. It gives your mind something to focus on or something to hitch itself onto. And you can use that in any pose if you'd like. Staying with that breath. Pause. might be one of those poses that you might choose to pause the video and hold it a little longer. Maybe you'll have a little snooze. So from here, we'll just step our feet to flat feet. And you can either just carefully roll to one side to exit your pose, or tucking a hand under your head to support the head as you lift yourself up. Just come to sit in a comfortable seated pose for a few breaths, allowing the body to take on some of the effects of the pose. Next pose will be the supported baby pose. For this one, if you have 2 blocks, choose that. It's kind of like Legos. So, take your blocks. One is at the middle height. The other one about a foot away at the lowest height. Bolsters, zipper side down, hovering on top of the blocks. You can snuggle in close, knees are wide, and then resting your chest. Tucking your arms in between the blocks. Relaxing your shoulders. And resting here. An option to add a little weight on your back. Just finding some comfort there. And so an option here, maybe you don't have the blocks. You could either just tuck a little love under and then come into your pose. Or you could choose some canned goods or maybe a couple of bowls. Same thing. Resting here, you can tuck your arms between, relax the shoulders. Also choose to tuck a blanket or your mat under the tops of your feet if you need a little support there. Or if you're finding you can't sit that way, you can take your knees out to the side. Move the props here. Out to the side, get tall, twist, and then this would be your variation here. And if you're choosing this variation, after a couple minutes, you can switch so your knees are on the opposite side. All right, so now that you're in the pose, you can bring your awareness to your breath. Maybe you can notice your heart beating against the bolster, or maybe your rolled up mat or blanket. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in and out. Breath by breath. Letting go. Free to turn your head at any time if you wish. out. Again, you could stay there longer if you'd like. As you come up and out of your pose, you might choose to give your feet a little kick here, or maybe doing a few of the dog and cat tilts, inhaling to lift the tail and the heart, exhale, rounding the back, inhale, exhale, a few more times. Final pose will be shavasana, so you can do that. If you'd like today, maybe tucking a little blankie under your head, maybe an extra blanket for over the body, and tuck your bolster under your knees or thighs. You might use your blocks under your calves, not the feet. The feet are free, the heels are free. And just resting back here. You could also use the soup under your calves, or your bowls, or books, or maybe another pillow. Just really sinking into the mat here for a nice shavasana. So thank you very much for joining me today, and I really hope to see you all very soon when we can practice together in person again, and we can spend time to breathe, stretch, laugh, and relax together. Namaste. Hope to see you soon.